man behind Heritage Restaurant. Reno, how are you, my friend? Good to have you back on the show.
What's up, boys? It's Heritage.
And of course, we know Reno, and this was great because at the restaurant we discovered through Mike Mayo, who was a huge fan.
Yeah.
And the fact that you had these hockey ties, we were made aware of by the great Jim Sarney, who's also a huge fan of the restaurant.
He played hockey, so let's say being on the ice and being in a restaurant. How important was it to have not only could Chuck come in, and I think that's what it was, is not only he came in, but like he does everything. Like he doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Same thing I feel like in a restaurant. Like when you have you're the chef and we saw you come in, you're cleaning cups and you're welcoming people. The fact that like the big boss man, the big dude is doing the lowest job, to me it endears a lot of people, especially on a team or in a business.
You have to have that mentality. It's a team player. It's not, well, this is my job, I'm just going to do my job, and that's your job, you do your job, and separate. It's like, what do you need? Can I help you? When you build, and especially from the top, when you start that way, you're building the culture, and then the rest of it falls into place. Yep. If you build that culture, people believe in the culture, the business takes off, and the business will go forward because people want to be a part of that culture. That's why you always, people knock on, corporate places. When they try to do like that forced culture and you have like your stupid little lame seminars and stuff like that, they're like, we're doing team building today. And you talk to grown ass men like 5-year-olds, they're like, no, man.
We were in radio.
Like, relax. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
You didn't do radio?
One of our best cooks right now just found his wife in bed with another man. Like, he's smoking a cigarette. Everybody, bring out the tequila bottle. That's real culture. That's real team building my ass. I'd be like, listen, buddy, you sucked last night. All right? Exactly. You're on the verge of getting fired. I almost wanted to just headbutt you in the middle of the dining room. Let's have a beer and let's do it again.
We went to any number of meetings. We talk about it from time to time where it would come and he would give you this brilliant, state of affairs that was going on right now. Even though you had just read that morning, the company was $30 billion in debt since this guy took over. And then people were cleaning out their desks right after the meeting, after he just told you how valuable you were to the company. And it was all bullshit.
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very pleasant good morning, everybody. Great to be with you here in the Defo Show. Mike Lubie Lubitz on South Florida Live. Take you up until 9 o'clock today. We will have a version, and we have tested some things out. It's been a couple of weeks of trial and error, you would have to say.
It's been 3 weeks.
We've been okay for the most part. I mean, we've had troubles with Dave the last couple of weeks connecting as his office was moved. You know what? It's like when the cleaning lady would dust off one of the pieces of equipment here on my desk, and you couldn't get on the air for 3 days after that. How fragile is this industry at this point? Never mind those staff meetings that we used to have to suffer through. My favorite one, actually, it wasn't one of those Bob Pittman deals. Bob Pittman was the CEO of iHeartMedia.
It may still be. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he still is, yeah. Those guys never lose their job. And when they do, they get $200 million on the way out the door. And you're thinking, how do I get in a position like that? Where I could be awful at what I do. I mean, we try every day. It may not seem that way. And now we're doing any number of projects, and they all involve just a little bit of a different approach. We have this show, and then we have our no filter thing going on, Caffeine TV, and we got all excited about that because out of nowhere, I mean, we started looking at the early results on that thing, and I was shocked to see. I don't know, were they buying hits? I can't imagine they were. But the early results were phenomenal, way beyond my wildest anticipation, including one show, and we're only doing like a 15-minute little shtick there. I don't always feel like it's all that together. Do you, Lubie? Sometimes I'm looking at the camera and I'm yapping away, and I'm thinking, this stuff sucks. Who in their right mind would watch this?
Especially the early ones. That's what's funny is I think we now just do our show. We don't have the technical issues, so we're able to get through it. Like the early ones, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
You would be freezing on the screen there, and I'm tapping the microphone. I'll be on. Kind of like we've been going through with the Tony Bruno Sports Network in the early stages. Although yesterday, I guess in the final hour, we finally clicked in.
Yes.
I was getting, I believe our guest, Antoine Staley, was hearing us in a slight delay.
Yeah. Me and Antoine there was a delay back and forth.
Okay. I mean, was that universal? Because
I don't know.
See, now you plugged in. Now you took your computer and plugged it straight into your router.
I'm doing whatever they tell me to do.
I have yet to do that. I thought I could get away without doing that, and then I was hearing that delay thing, and kind of, it takes a little of the spontaneity out of the interview, does it not?
Yes.
It's ugliness. Yeah,
yes.
where you're sitting there and you fire off something and you're hoping the guy says something real clever in response, and there's no response.
Yes.
Kind of like the first 2 weeks of the Bruno show was between you and me. But we've kind of worked our way through a whole bunch of technical issues, and it hasn't been pleasant. I mean, it's a very distracting thing. So we're thinking today might be the day. You just never know. And we've worked out the problems with Gurggles. I did dig those meetings though. That Rena was talking about the corporate meeting at the restaurant, and to get everybody going. Okay, we're a team here, are we not? Now there was a brotherhood of sorts. It was understated, but there was a brotherhood of sorts of people on the so-called talent side of the business.
I was gonna say, like us in the crowd, yeah. It was just like we'd all be like rolling our eyes. There was always be 3 people asking questions because they actually need real money.
And they were always the guys that were doing really well in the company's eyes and were making the most money, even if they weren't producing.
Yeah, they made real money, so they would pretend that they were engaged, and then the rest of us would just be rolling our eyes, talking bullshit.
It's like, when are you going to offer me some kind of a real deal here? When am I going to stop schlepping around town, going to gas stations and seeing if they had enough money to advertise a little restaurant they have inside? It was amazing. Yeah, I mean, the dupe job that they tried to pull over you. It was kind of like, when you're watching the New York Yankees in the offseason after another failed season, where Brian Cashman is making statements and he goes ahead and implies, as you've been implicating all along, that, and you particularly, don't like this in athletes that you observe when, injury prone becomes one of those tags. Giancarlo Stanton being one. So Cashman opens up a mouth and says, well, you know what? He's going to get hurt. By the way, Porzingis was out for the Celtics last night.
Oh, shocking.
Or 2 nights ago, yeah. Yeah, last night. I think they played the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wasn't he injury prone before they got him? That was the one thing for the Marlins was he had the 1 year where he was fucking Babe Ruth.
He was great.
Every year he was hurt.
Every year, yeah, and beyond that, every year since. I guess he had a year or two where he was decent with the Yankees, but since then, it's just they were chronicling it. And unfortunately, yesterday's New York Post, which I was alluding to, as the paper didn't come today. Do you give the delivery guy the excuse that nobody can get around out there? Because it has dried up a little bit. It's a little windy. Mm. It's been a bit of a distraction. But, so we used to go to those things with Bob Pittman. And he always had a henchman who would introduce him. Well, now I'd like to introduce you to a guy who's really going to take us over the top. And then Pittman would talk, and, the program director would give you an evil look because they knew that we might be making some wisecracks to the people around us as the guy was speaking. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, just sitting there listening to bullshit for like an hour.
Yeah, they're lying. Come on.
What's up?
That clip's right. That's why I put that clip out there, and I'm playing it all week because it's literally right. Like we would literally read. It would always be the day they knew a report was coming out. Yeah, and we would read in the morning, and we're in the newsroom. Like every sector of the building had like groups of people, so you would all congregate in bullshit every morning, and everyone read like the Access or whatever, all these different rags, and I was always mentioned in them, and they were always released. I heard now 15 billion in debt, and then the whole industry would laugh. And we'd go, it is what it is. And then magically would have a meeting that day saying, well, it's not really 15 billion. It's more like 3.5. And then, with this concert, it's like, dude.
Yeah, the iHeart Music Awards in Las Vegas. That was the funny part. There were a couple of people that would be at those meetings that were heading to Las Vegas for 2 weeks of just straight out, high-end partying. While you were going to be schlepping in there, barely able to afford it. You had to wait for the breakfast sandwiches to go 2 for $1 at Burger King so you could have something to eat in the morning. And, it was all bullshit. Just complete disconnection with reality. Meanwhile, they should have been talking about contraction, consolidation, the things that were actually going to go on in the immediate aftermath of these meetings. But one of my favorites was, and this was big too, because radio stations, they kind of didn't care about their on-air content anymore. They were only concerned about what was going on online.
Yes.
And was the website getting clicks? And what were you doing to generate that? In fact, I think you were instructed any number of times, Lubie, to make sure that you were loading up tons of content on the internet. Never mind the fact that you had just had like Rick Pitino in the studio for an hour doing an interview. That was of no importance, no consequence to them. I mean, an impossible guy to get to come in and do something like that. You are eclipsing what anybody else in the market is doing. And all they cared about, what did you put that highlight on from the Marlins game? What Marlins game?
That's so funny.
No word about, hey, who was that guy that came in the suit? He looked great.
That's literally what happened.
100 people come running up to the studio to shake the guy's hand. Hey, I can't believe you guys did that. That's unreal. Patino drove himself here. That's great. Didn't have to send a limo, nothing. You didn't pay him. Come in and do the interview. They didn't care about that. So they were always having meetings about how we can enhance our social media presence, which I am somewhat inept at. I mean, I'm on Facebook. That's about it. I put something up the other day. There's this thing going around. Have you seen that, Lubie? I haven't seen you participate in it yet. Where and I couldn't cut and paste it or whatever, copy and paste it. So I paraphrase what it was, but it's some kind of professional media challenge where I don't know who came up with this idea, but they're asking everybody who's in the business to post a picture of themselves actually in the field doing something.
Oh, good.
That was in the media, and I don't know what the concept behind it was. Vaguely, I think it was that we were going to flood the social media outlets with these kind of pictures and show that the media is not the enemy of the state or something.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not sure what the purpose of it was. Maybe it was just to get a bunch of clicks on your own Facebook page. But anyway, I dug one up. The only picture I have of me in action, I have a couple, but not many. I'm not a big saver of that sort of thing. And somebody had sent me a picture of me, a young divorced, interviewing Dennis Erickson on the field for Sunshine Network at the Orange Bowl after a game. Now, and what was the most noticeable thing was that I was wearing a shirt that featured a dog track logo on it. Plus, I had a full head of black hair. People didn't even believe it was me. They thought I was Erickson.
Exactly.
They were, some of the comments were, "Who's the guy on the right?" So, not real adept at that. But I remember going to one of those meetings, and I'm at the time in my late 60s, and all of the people in the meeting, I'm looking around the room. You were probably the next oldest guy in there, were you not? Everybody, I remember we had to go to one of those little conference rooms, which was down at the end of the hall by the program director's office, and we're all in this conference room, and they were going to tell us how we could enhance our presence on social media and how important it was to the company. And I'm looking around at this room of young kids, and I'm had my stuff from doing the show. It happened right after our show at 10 o'clock. And what do I have in my hand? A New York Post. And I'm thinking, well, that says it all right there. I'm the only guy here that even looks at a newspaper.
Yes, 100%.
And I kind of, stated my uselessness to this project right there, just by the items that I had on hand. So we weren't very good at that sort of thing, and it never really accomplished much. But hopefully in this new era of media where you can kind of do everything on your own, maybe we have the formula now, Louie, for success here, because we have this show, got the No Filter thing working there, Caffeine TV. We have seen some great success on there. The average thing is not nearly as high as some of the sensational totals we had earlier. I don't know if it's because people aren't viewing it or they're not promoting it the same way, whatever, but I tend to, just look at the fact that if anything we did drew 250,000 views, like within a day or two after we posted it, that's very encouraging. You would think, okay, we did it once. We should be able to do it somewhere again. And as I said, a lot of it seemed like it was dribbling nonsense that we were putting up there. And it was awkward. I mean, it was poorly produced as well. So maybe we've worked our way through all of this stuff. And the Tony Bruno radio show today, we're thinking we bounce wire to wire without any kind of an incident. Is that even something that we should consider as a possibility? I'm going to say yes to that. It was very disappointing yesterday when we came on and there was nothing.
We were on, we were fine. I don't know. Oh, yeah, when we had the 20. No, we came on fine. We just had 20 minutes of commercials.
That was great, too. A talk-free commercial sweep for 20 minutes.
The thing worked fine.
My dream. That was my dream.
The thing worked fine until they had it does a thing where it overloads. It's a weird system that they're attempting to use. And every day there's some issue with this system, which is my concern. That we just to do a simple show. Again, our goal is to not do simple shows. Our goal is to do some crazy shit. We're just right now going very basic, just trying to do a show.
Yeah.
And if levels aren't there's a lot behind it to get this thing working, which is fine. It just doesn't seem practical to me. And even when we got going, you said it, there was a delay in the phone call. Most people probably didn't give a shit. It bothered me, and I know it bothered you, because our show is very big on timing. Some of these shows, they're just standard question answer, so you can get away with 5-second delay. We literally do our show off of everything. Everything's timing.
Needs to be spontaneous.
Everything. So like when I noticed it with you and me, but then when it seemed to go away. So I'm like, okay, I think we're okay. And then once you brought Antoine on, I'm like, oh, okay.
That was weird. Hey, Antoine, you there? You want to say something about that? What about Zach Wilson? How was Vegas?
And I hear him right away, and I'm like, I bet you Defo's not. And then we go the reverse. I'm like, okay, we're doing everything they want us to do. Why is there a fucking delay? I'm like,
I spoke with Miss Robin about that yesterday, because I actually was a guest on Tony's show.
Oh, nice.
At 5:30 yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I love Tony Bruno. I really do. I think he's doing that extemporaneous, free-form type of stuff that we like to do. Very similar in style, I would say.
Yes.
To what we like to do, where, he's not focused in on the standings in the NBA Eastern Conference or whatever. He's just winging it, man. It's great. But with knowledge and with experience, that's the thing. That's the fun of it, the stories and everything else, and the people that you know. So hopefully it'll all work out. I don't mean to chronicle our problems here from the technical side, but you guys have been following us loyally for a long, long time, especially the people here on South Florida Live. So we really appreciate that greatly, the people that have stuck with us over the last couple of years here. And I think, the future is bright with all of this. I think we're going to be okay. So, and I'm very excited about that Tony Bruno radio show project. It's just that I wish it was easier to do, and I wish that it worked every time. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get off to a big start today. I'm considering all of this in an experimental stage. And if it's running smoothly by January 1st, I'll feel like we're on the right track. That gives us enough time, no, Lubie, to make something happen? Yeah, you hate to waste the effort it takes to do these shows.
I don't think we're wasting. Look, I'm enjoying doing these shows. I'm fine with it. It's just there's clearly issues, so it is what it is. Like I'd rather just accept that and not get frustrated, because we're getting frustrated. I'm like, it's stupid to get frustrated. Like, we're figuring it out. Some people are finding us, which is cool. They're getting good feedback. That's the whole point of this friggin' thing. It's just different. Like, it's like for some reason every day there's something. So it's like,
oh my God. Well, I mean, and it was working fine yesterday for a while, and then Miss Robin went inside my computer there to try and make one minor adjustment, and sure enough, helter skelter, man. It was let's call Vincent Pugliese. Manson's on the loose. It's helter skelter, man. Chaos coming from all directions. All right, you're in some kind of a fight here. I just want to try and explain this to the people on the chat line, because we love the participation we get on the chat line, and it's you, Mayo, and Sarni in a bit of a dispute.
No, there's no dispute.
Okay.
Like, I love the idea of we've always done this. Come out, let's have a party. But usually we're at places that are big.
Right. If you're at Gulfstream Park, it's pretty easy to stash something.
Yeah, we invite everyone to come to Gulfstream. Yeah. Come to the 10 Palms. Some people have taken, Tony has taken, the Rudd has taken us up on it. Joey Kornblit. Open. You guys make fun of me for the food. I hope it's a joke, because I don't give a shit. The food is really...
No, that one time we were at, and this was on a Saturday, and there was nobody else around. The place was actually closed, that NYY steak deal that we had. And the Mustang came down with a friend, and they were going to, grab some of the food. And you literally, like, you dove on the table like Victor Wembanyama dove on Kevin Love.
I did, but at the end, I made boxes for everyone. It was because we had like a really nice setup, and we were really trying to have the show go off a certain way.
It did seem like you were hovering unnecessarily, though, over the food.
But
you have become the food Nazi, the food czar on that show.
It was on purpose, because I didn't want people to start fucking with it, and I sat there for 20 minutes.
Understandable. No, I mean, you're doing your job.
And the whole thing, like, if you notice, I wasn't eating it either. It wasn't like,
no, you were good.
Fuck you, and I'm digging in, like, I don't care who eats the food. This thing, we've gone to a place where it actually will look pretty decent with the food and at some of these places. And like, if you start messing with it, it gets in the way of you guys. Hands are in I already do it where I put my hand in your face. So that's the thing. Like, I don't care who takes the food. The food's for everyone. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's really no room there. Like, I'm not even trying to be a jerk. Like, it's not meant for it. There's nothing wrong with Delaware. It's a wonderful place. We enjoy it.
It'd be hard to have like more people there on those tables.
I don't even sit down. Yes. If you notice, I am constantly moving the whole time.
They're busy when we're there.
Yeah. I don't know where to go. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm like, shoot, we don't want to mess with business. The whole point of this game between your
to
remote
increase business. Yes.
Exactly. Let's not
to drive people away.
Exactly. Like, if I'm like, get out of here, lady.
Looks like it's becoming an issue here.
No, it's fine. We're cool.
And Mayo's very particular, so he's not going to appreciate your position.
He was screwing with me. He's very much like the professor, where he likes to fucking troll me, and he knows I'll fall for it, and he knows I'll go all in.
Yeah.
And of course I do, because that's who I am.
Right. I do the same thing with him. I mean,
I know we both
say one word, which he has become a bit of an elitist. I didn't even bring it up on the show yesterday because I didn't want to get him going. But his new thing on Let's Eat South Florida, like somebody puts up a great dish. I saw this thing, an example, a place that I really like, Anthony's Clam House. Now, Anthony's Clam House on Commercial Boulevard is an excellent Italian restaurant. Tremendous bargain in terms of prices, although, it's not like they're charging $2.95 or whatever, but you really get great value there for the quality of food, much like we talk about with Tropical Acres. Okay, so is Tropical Acres NYY steak?
No.
Maybe not.
No.
But it's half the price. So
yes.
That's a big consideration. So some poor soul who likes Anthony's Clam House puts up a picture of a carpaccio dish that looked very appetizing, and I can assure you the food there is very, very good. And it was like $12. So what does Mayo do? He puts a picture of something from Runway 84 that was $35 over the top and says, "That's a carpaccio."
Oh, Jesus, Mayo.
It's like, what the fuck? We're talking about two different things here. I mean, and why would you insult the guy like that? Sure, he could have gone to Runway 84 and paid $34 for it, and that's no knock on Runway 84. They're great at what they do. And the people that like going there love it, and they should. But, it's not comparable. It's not comparable to, what this guy was getting for $12 at Anthony's Clam House. It shouldn't diminish the fact that he enjoys it. And Mayo, use this mamby-pamby way of getting out of it at the end as he puts on, different strokes for different folks. I'm like, that's so insulting.
No, he's a snob. He's a food snob.
What's great about that site is it's brought out the worst in Mayo. It really has. And his elitist approach, I just put elitist there, and I was assuming everybody would know what I was talking about.
He is an elitist. That's weird.
He did it again on another one. I didn't even bother looking at it, and I was going to bring it up on a show yesterday, but
you can. He does it on purpose. That's the thing we struggle to, because we don't.
Oh, he put a thing from Reno's place, Heritage, and compared it to something from some chain restaurant that somebody said was very enjoyable. Now Reno's prices are not, out there with Runway 84, but they're not cheap. And rightfully so. I mean, for the product the guy puts out there, very reasonably priced, but it's two different things.
What I love is that May will be the first one to say, there's stuff for everyone. It's like, okay, so then why would you slam it?
No, he's just cutting these guys down to mouse shit. With these pictures he's putting.
It wasn't on purpose. I guarantee there was tons of comments after. Like, he does. That's why the site's grown, because he's good at being a fucking foil.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
neither of us are like that. Like, we don't.
Jean Provocateur, as they used to say.
Clearly, what he does there, and it's worked tremendously. We're just not like.
I think he hates the people that are on the site. I really do. And he's not a big fan of Anthony's Clam House, unfortunately.
Has he had it? Because remember, that's probably one of those places he hasn't even had.
He put it down right away because he hadn't been there. And then, he didn't like the fact that the sign looked similar. I actually did think it was one of Anthony Bruno's places because of the sign. Because the word Anthony's was written very similarly to what you would see if you went to one of Anthony's places. But Anthony Bruno's places. But the guy that runs the place, a guy named Walter, his son is named Anthony. There's a reason he named the restaurant that. We don't have to go into all of that because we wouldn't have time to do it. And you guys will be feeding your face while I'm sitting there watching. Sonny could come and take my seat.
Sonny can come.
And eat.
They all can come. I'm not lying to you. Like, it takes me before we get there every time, even though we go once a month. And
it's not easy, your job.
No, I'm saying I literally stand there for 20 minutes doing fucking algebra. I'm like, okay. Where do we sit this time?
Mayo says this is stuff we should be discussing on a lunchbox, but he doesn't like that when we do that. He immediately gets into some kind of verklempt conniption and says, we're not talking about that, Defo. And then he goes into his elitist mode. So I just lay out now. I just sit there and watch.
Just talk. It is what it is. He actually likes the back and forth. We just don't do that. That's not the thing we do. We've never been fans of that.
It's supposed to be fun, right?
Yes,
it's supposed to be some personal attack on people. Well, you like a knish? What are you talking about? You called it Gabilas, it's Gabalas. Okay, man, it's a knish to me. All right. All right, Dave Gurggles Gergely is ready. Let's see what's happening with Dave.
He's there.
Hey, all right. The handsome.
He sounds good. He sounded good yesterday. So,
how are you, David?
Good.
You look good.
My office is getting built up again for
You
another
got the
big
boxes.
tournament
and the
coming
boxes.
up in December. And met yesterday with Larry Little for his event, December 2nd, which will be a terrific event.
Right around the corner, huh? Is Frank still involved in that? Frank Fiore?
What's that?
Is Frank Fiore still involved in that golf tournament?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
okay.
Although Frankie has moved to a different team.
Yeah, is he gone already?
I believe so. I think he has changed his occupation, and he spent many good years with Hialeah, and I think he's moved on to another deal.
A real sweetheart. We love that man, and nobody puts on a better event. That thing he did at the footy dedication, that was great, and you were brilliant on that thing.
Well,
all right,
a lot of fun.
We're going to come right back and get into the trivia challenge. We'll offer up the phone line here, and I hope you're ready to go. I did speak I didn't speak to him, but exchanging some thoughts with the Polyman, who I think he may appear on the show tomorrow, our radio show. I think he's going to call into the Tony Bruno radio show. He has some theories he wants to espouse about non-reviewable rules in the NFL, rules that are non-reviewable. So I think we're going to talk about that a little bit on a Degenerate Friday edition and all our programs are now going to be Degenerate Fridays. We just go universally across the board, and including the food show, right? Which is conducted from Gulf Stream.
There's a lot of degeneracy there. Yes.
Are you friends with Sheldon Glass? You don't do Facebook or any of that.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you see Sheldon's posts?
I'm on there. Yeah.
All right. So yesterday, he he's always at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas, and he had a screenshot of the pulls from a harness track, like the Meadows, which is some shithole harness track. I don't even know where it is. Is that in Pennsylvania? Where is it?
It is. It's near Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. The Meadows. I would have to venture to say I've never been there, which is rare because being a degenerate that I am, I usually made it a point to visit every racetrack and every racing venue, any city I went to. And I've been to Pittsburgh a few times. And there was just an aberration. I mean, just an outrageous amount of money bet into superfecta pools at the Meadows yesterday.
Wow.
Where they showed the different pools. The win pool had like $3,000 bet in it. The place pool had $1,700. The show pool was $896. Exacta pool was $12,000. The trifecta pool was $6,000. Superfecta pool $1.5 million.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Something like that. That wasn't quite that high. It was like $750,000.
Oh, shit.
And then there was a story in a racing forum that this happened on FanDuel at a number of tracks where certain superfecta pools and high five pools, which is picking the first five in order, had an enormous amount of money, a huge infusion of cash, way out of line with anything that you would normally consider. The previous race would have had $3,000 in the same pool, and then in the pools where this money was poured into the superfecta pools, all of a sudden it went from $3,000 to $450,000. So what do you think was going on there, Dave Gurggles Gergely? Money laundering? I mean, what the hell could that have been?
Maybe Hervé Filion was coming out of retirement.
I thought I saw Carmine Abatello in the background. I will come back with the trivia challenge. Dial us up if you want to play. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. Dave Gurggles Gergely in the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge coming your way in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:30. Ponies in Style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in Style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubber's Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante, the Belmont's now 1.8 miles. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici just switched the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on the Defo Show.
Yeah. I'm just looking at some of these comments here, getting a chance to read them now. This thing is definitive proof that it's all gone to Mayo's head. It really has. Not to put up with that later on today with this Thanksgiving feast. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I won't be able to partake right then and there. That's going to be interesting, not to want to pick at something here. I actually have to cut off my entire food intake here and coffee intake at 9 o'clock. A little blood test coming up later on. Dave Gurggles Gergely. So it told you 6 hours, no food. Water's okay, right? You can drink water?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Then that's what I'll do. All right. Let's get into it. Never mind me and my physical concerns. Hopefully the numerology won't be too scary. I'm always on the borderline. Is that the status that you enjoy also, Gurggles? How's that knee, by the way? That stuff?
My right knee's fine. I had 3 of those shots of hyaluronic acid. Now, for some reason, I think my left hip that I got replaced in 2010 might be ready for a recall.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
getting pain going down the left side now, but that's okay.
That's what happens when you get old. Instead of a recall on your car battery, you get one on your hip.
Yeah, how about that? No.
All right, let's get into it. 954-417-0070. We haven't done this for a while, so feel free to dial us up, and we'll get right into the trivia challenge here today with Dave Gurggles Gergely. Your first set of questions you heard from the Polyman. We always dedicate it to the Polyman, and we have Dave Gurggles Gergely to start us out with some
easy baseball. This veteran baseball player on the disadvantages of staying at fine hotels on the road said, geez, the last hotel we had, the towels were so thick, I could hardly close my suitcase. Was that the one and only Yogi Berra, Yogi Bear, Max Bear, or Max Bielstock?
Roll the random phone scrambler here. Look at that, Ron. Our good friend Ron, you're up first here on the trivia challenge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
It's a correct choice. You have 1 point. You're in the game.
Nice job, Ron.
Hi, Ron. Bowling, true or false? Jerome Bettis, who once bowled a perfect game and a very good bowler, mentioned that the reason he got into bowling is that his mother steered him and his brother toward bowling to avoid running with the wrong crowd in Detroit. True or false?
True.
I'm going to say true. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good. O.J. McDuffie, a great bowler, also has I believe he has a 300 under his belt as well.
And Mookie Betts, too. Same thing.
Mookie can bowl?
Yes.
Very good.
All right, this is kind of left over from the Breeders' Cup, but we're going to give it to you anyway. The highest paying long shot in Breeders' Cup history in the classic race was a horse named Arcang in 1993 from France, who paid $269 to win. Who rode this horse?
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Angel Cordero, Frankie Dettori, Jerry Bailey, or Pat Day?
Oh, you know.
Let's go Pat Day.
No.
Pat Day, incorrect.
It was a pickup ride for Jerry Bailey.
Jerry Bailey.
I actually hit the try in that race because I liked the horse that ran second and third, and I played the 2 all 4 and all 2-4 and come back pretty good. But that's another story.
That was also, we were talking about this betting scandal before with all of this money in the superfecta pool, but wasn't that the race where, was that the one where they took down the pick 6 pool? The guys that, you know.
Oh, I don't think it was that one.
Oh, it was another bomb that came in the last race. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was named after a prison inmate or a prison guard.
Huh.
I forget the name of the horse, and I thought that might have been Art Kong. But you're right, Jerry Bailey on a $200 nag. All right, you're about to sweep the board here, Ron. If you get this one right.
No, he didn't.
He missed that one. Yeah, right.
He said
He came in with like
he got two going for 7.
2 going for 7.
There you go, Pat. There you go, Pat.
I just
Ron.
assumed if I knew it, that everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball, Ron. 3 players hold the record for most World Series MVPs won. Which of the following is not one of those 3? Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Whitey Ford, or Reggie Jackson?
Let's go. Bob Gibson.
Gibson.
No, believe it or not, Whitey Ford, with all those wins and everything, just had 1 MVP. The others had multiple.
Ron sweeping the board for 1 second, and the next thing you know, he's out of the contest, or at least unless we have nobody else that has worthy totals to go to the finals. 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. Congratulations, by the way. We didn't get a chance to mention this. Skip Schumacher, speaking of awards, postseason awards, Manager of the Year. I thought, he was worthy of significant consideration and probably should win the award. I didn't know if they would give it to him. It's a regular season award, but the fact that his team made the postseason, of course, was very significant. All of those one-run games, the dramatic turnaround, you would have to, I don't know, I was a big Mattingly fan, and maybe much of it was attributable to luck, but you would think that to manage successfully so many narrow victories, possibly Skip Schumacher had something to do with it. As Mattingly, unfortunately, was horrendous in that category just the previous year. The Marlins went from being a worst team in that aspect of the game to the best in one season under Skip Schumacher. So congratulations, Brendan Hyde, and this was a natural. How could the Orioles manager not have won Manager of the Year after the surprise season that they had? Cy Young, Garrett Cole. Weren't many really worthy candidates.
I was going to say.
Sonny Gray was like 8-8. He was one of the top candidates for this thing. So Garrett Cole wins it 15-4 on the season, the low ERA in the, I think it was lower than the mid-2s. And Blake Snell won in the National League. All right, here we go. Ready for our next set of questions? Dave Gurggles Gergely. The Trivia Challenge is on.
Yes. Football. This long-time Baltimore Colt, when asked about his training regime, said, I recently added squats to my workouts by moving the case of Schlitz to the bottom shelf of my refrigerator.
One of our favorites. We both had time with this guy.
And what was his name?
Well, I mean, this is the toss-out thing?
Yeah, I forgot his name. I didn't write it down.
You don't remember?
Oh, no.
Was it Artie Donovan,
That's
Artie Lang?
Artie Donovan, Billy Donovan, Donovan Dreef, or Donovan's Mellow Yellow.
That's like a Defo. It makes me happy. Defo does that every time you're gone. Defo will ask questions and not know the answer.
It's great. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I'm looking on the sheet there. Wait, I didn't fucking circle the answer. So I wrote question. I wrote 12 years ago. And here's a Chronic. He's up next year on the Trivia Challenge. Chronic. How are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. I'll go with Art Donovan, unless it's Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente.
Yeah, exactly.
Chronic, are you doctoring those pictures? Are you photoshopping those pictures, putting your head on a skinny body?
No.
My God.
No.
He's lost a ton of
You've
weight.
dropped like 100 pounds. Are you on Golo? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. I have no idea, but it's
Nice job. Gurggles was always saying, right, when you were chowing down on his 4 hamburgers that they put out for us at Schuler's that day, try a salad once in a while. And it worked.
So funny.
Good job, Lenny. That's not easy to do. All right, you have 1 point. You're in the game.
All right, Lenny Hoops, true or false? The late, great Pistol Pete Maravich got the name Pistol Pete in high school because he was known as a dead-eye great shooter. True or false?
I'm going to go with true.
No?
He got the name Pistol Pete because he was playing against taller guys, and he always shot from his hip, like as if he was drawing a gun.
Oh, really?
Nice going there, Dave Gurggles Gergely. Yeah, not difficult to fool the Chronic on a true-false question since he's like 1 for 1,780. But 1 point going for 4 here, Chronic. I'll put you in the lead.
All right. And the aforementioned one from Jeff, little hint. Congratulations to Skip Schumacher winning the NL Manager of the Year in his first season. Who won the Manager of the Year in the National League as a first-time manager for the very first time it ever occurred? Was that Tommy Lasorda, Dallas Green, Joe Girardi, or Hal Lanier?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. Schumacher won in his rookie year as the manager of the year. The first time that ever occurred in the National League, this guy in his rookie year won the manager of the year. Was it Tommy Lasorda, Dallas Green, Joe Girardi, or Hal Lanier?
Let's go with Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda.
No,
Incorrect.
you go back to 1956, I think, with the Giant Hal Lanier.
I was going to say Hal Lanier.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Chronic going for 6 points here if you get this one right.
All right, baseball. This is to make up for that error I had the last time with you. We're bringing back Roberto Clemente on July 25th, 1956.
You sure you want to do that, Gurggles?
No. On
So
July
much controversy.
25th, 1956, Roberto Clemente became the only major league player to hit a walk-off inside the park grand slam in a 9-8 Pirates victory over who? Lenny, was it the Cubs, the Phillies, the Giants, or the Braves?
Cubs, Phillies, Giants, or Braves. I'm going to go with the Cubs.
Yes.
Yes.
Well
Nice
done.
job. Wow.
Wow.
That's when you get right.
Wow, that was lucky.
Chronic, you're setting the pace here with 6 points. So hang in there. We could be coming back to you very shortly. It's the Trivia Challenge here with Dave Gurggles Gergely. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz taking your calls at 954-417-0070. I'm Jeff DeForest, and I know this, that when Gurggles recommends something, he is just 1,000% sincere. He's been talking about these guys forever. I can vouch for the fact that Nick Perdomo is a mensch of a human being. I'm not a cigar smoker, but if I was going to light one up, my first move would be to go straight to Perdomo cigars.
Yeah, great story. You rode the plane with him. He had a job as an air traffic controller. Said, you know what? I'm going to go back into the family business. Moved to a little spot off Flagler Street, and Nick's Cigars, or Perdomo Cigars, was born. There's a picture of me in the Maldives, 25-hour trip from Miami, but enjoying a Perdomo cigar. You don't have to go all the way there to enjoy a Perdomo cigar. You can get one at 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto on the east side, on the south side, a little bit east of the Home Depot there. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But the number to call, 305-627-6700. Me, I'm enjoying, it looks like a Lot 21 right there. We sell the Champagne La Tradiciones here at the golf course, whether it's a Connecticut wrapper, a Maduro wrapper, a Punch, a Churchill, whatever. They make them perfect one at a time. Go see the gang. And Perdomo Cigar, truly a family affair. This is Nick Jr.'s in now, I think, for the fourth generation of Perdomo Cigars. 305-627-6700, the number to call. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You want one maybe Saturday or Sunday over this long weekend we got coming up to enjoy everything we got. The weather's going to be beautiful. You can go online at www.perdomocigars.com to find a retailer that sells these fine cigars. So this weekend, make it Thursday when we look for Dallas and Detroit both to lose on Thanksgiving. Put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
Excellent job. What's that, Lubie?
Not automatic. They're both good. Remember how they used to suck for years? They're both actually good, so they may actually win.
Pretty incredible. All right, we're going to continue the game. Just roll right through it. There are your lines when they're open, 954-417-0070. I should say the line. We're not fooling anybody. With the line when it's open, 954-417-0070. We're going to go right back into the game here. Lenny with 6 leading the pack. Yes. And our next set of questions, Dave Gurggles Gergely.
Golf. This comedian, in a scene from the great epic comedy Caddyshack about yelling 4 after he hit his tee shot that accidentally hit Judge Smells in the crotch, said, oh, geez, I should have yelled 2. What's that? Rodney Dangerfield, Rodney Pete, Calvin Pete, or Pistol Pete?
Seen a lot of Dangerfield on social media. Old bits from Dangerfield, classic. Unbelievable.
I love him.
I don't get no respect. Here's Pat. He's on the Trivia Challenge. Pat, welcome to the show.
Hello, guys. That's got to be A.
A is correct. What is your beef? What is your beef with the settlement of the SAG-AFTRA strike? You were saying online,
the
Pat.
whole AI thing.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence. We're not keen on that.
No, neither are we, because it's been suggested to me to replace Lubie with artificial intelligence, but that suggests that neither of us had intelligence to begin with.
No.
Yeah. All right, you have 1 point. You're in the game.
Vote against that.
All right.
All right. Horse racing, Pat. Believe it or not, Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood got some satisfaction, quote, from his fascination with horse racing. His 10-year-old horse, Sandy Mount Duke, was a candidate for the Grand National, one of the world's premier steeplechase races. True or false?
That sounds so crazy. I'll say true.
It is true.
Yes.
Very
It
nice.
is true.
Very nice. 2 for 2, Pat, going for 5.
All right, Pat. Baseball. Which of the following Hall of Famers was the first one inducted into the Hall of Fame who at one time was a designated hitter? Is that Tony Oliva, Al Kaline, Jim Rice, or Rocky Colavito?
Colavito.
No, Tony
It
Oliva?
was the battery man, Al Kaline. Al Kaline.
Al Kaline, wow.
Oh.
I told you, I was amazed. As a kid, I got his autograph as he was coming into Yankee Stadium one day, and he just signed it Al, K, and then drew a line.
Ah.
Very clever.
Oh.
Very nice. All right, what are we looking at? 2 going for 7?
Yep.
Okay.
Hoops. Who was the first NBA player to score 2,000 or more points in 8 consecutive seasons? Oscar Robertson, Dominique Wilkins, Rick Barry, or Alex English?
Oh, God. Any of them.
Oscar Robertson.
I'm going to go Alex English.
Neek?
Alex English, it is, of the Denver Nuggets.
Wow.
Oh, very good. All right, Pat bombs out. Only 2 points. And we're going to play one more before we go to the finals. So you can jump on board at 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. You know what's funny, Gurggles? We used to have like 2 hours, and we'd still only play 4 guys on the radio. I look at my sheet and go, oh, shit, man, we better get some contestants in here. The lines were cranking the whole time, and we rarely had an open space. 954-417-0070. If you'd like to be our last contestant in the regular season, now we are thinking about adopting an NBA policy here, Gurgs, and having an in-season tournament inside the game itself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Lubie, are you calling for a break here? Is that what's happening? Lubie has music playing. He's on the phone. He's making a bet. What are you saying? Heat tonight, laying the points?
What's going on with the Tony Bruno thing with you?
Well, and you know what? I believe, I mean, this may be a month or so away. I think the Trivia Challenge universally would be great. I don't know what his plans are on the weekend, and I don't know if we want to go back to working weekends again, but I think during the week we should be able to work some type of version of the Trivia Challenge. If the Polyman returns, I think we go ahead and do it, no?
That would be terrific.
What do you say? Yeah. I think you have to get the band back together on that.
I would agree.
Or is it one of those? I mean, if the Rolling Stones could keep playing in their 80s, don't you think we could continue the Trivia Challenge? But I always thought, I told you guys for 25 years, syndication. I mean, this would be a wild show on a national level because people have never heard anything like it. And most of it was based on some of the shtick that we used to do before the show got started. But then the questions are great, and people love to compete, and they love winning prizes. So we'll see. We've been working out some technical issues, which up until this morning, we still are not convinced that everything is going to work. But I do think that today will be our smoothest run of the show that we've had so far. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right. Good. We have our last regular season player here, and he's not eligible for the play in-season tournament, but very eligible for the top prize here, the Landlubber's gift certificate. So, Gurgs, fire off that last set of questions.
Football. This Green Bay Packers legend, known for his hard living, once said, when the game's on the line and it's 3rd and 10, you can have the milk drinkers. I'll take the whiskey drinkers every time.
There you go.
Max McGee, Fibber McGee, Tommy McDonald, or McDonald Carey?
Scrambler, please, Lubie. Boy, you put some 3-in-1 oil in that thing. It's working well. We have the great Andy. Andy, welcome to the show. Where are you going from, Eddie? You always have to establish a destination first. In or out, I guess, would be like it was a burger. In and out burger. In or out of the hospital. Where are you?
I'm actually at the Planet Fitness because I slept in the car all night because I couldn't see driving. I'm in plantation.
I see sunshine through the one crack in the shades here, so that's good.
Thank God.
It's been awful the last couple of days. So, all right, very good. You have 1 point. You're in the game.
I go with A.
All right.
Wise choice.
You did it.
Baseball, Andy, true or false? Believe it or not, Mickey Mantle not only holds the record for the most World Series walks during a career, but also the most World Series strikeouts during a career. True or false?
Was that a true?
True.
Oh, okay, true.
It's true.
True it is.
43 walks, 54 strikeouts.
Played in a lot of games. The Mick. Very good in the clutch, though. Two going for 5 here, Andy.
All right, Andy, NFL history. The Kansas City Chiefs traded for Joe Montana and Marcus Allen in 1993. They went on to post an 11-5 record that year, just missing the Super Bowl when they lost in the AFC Championship game to who? Was that the Jets, the Bills, the Broncos, or the Bengals?
What year was that?
93.
I'll go with Denver. I'll go with Denver.
Denver. Incorrect.
The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills.
Very nice. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
There you go. All right.
Yes.
Trying to
Unfortunately, they're about to get torched themselves. But going for 7 here, Andy, and this would put you in the finals.
Yes.
All right, Andy. Golf. Who is the PGA golfer who recorded a 16, the highest score ever on a par 4?
Oh, God.
Bob Tway, Kevin Na, Homero Blancas, or Duffy Waldorf?
Wow.
I thought that was me.
Huh?
What's it?
He's
I
actually thinking.
go with the third one.
No, it was not Homero Blancas. It was Kevin Na at the Valero Open.
Wow. 16.
No.
Na. All right, we're going to have to elevate somebody into the finals here, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and they're going to take on the Chronic for the championship. So while you sort that out, we'll come back in a moment, contest the finals of this week's edition of the Trivia Challenge with the great Dave Gurggles Gergely in a moment. Now that. It's 8:54.
Folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs unmatched, steaks hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Francois Lebec. Good morning, Francois.
Listen to me one moment, please. You fat ass. Tired of the way you speak about the Canadians? We are good people. We're here vacationing on the beach. We bring our dollars here, and you're always putting down the Canadians. And me, personally, am sick and tired of your crap. And you're not losing weight. I saw you the game. You're fat like a pig. The other thing that I would like to say is that you're going to throw out some baseball. I will be there personally to boo you out of the stadium. We come here as good people, friendly people, nice people. We don't need you to speak like you speak, Jeffrey, the fat ass the forest.
The Defo Show, featuring Lubie. We now return to the Defo Show.
Always good to get verbal fan mail, and that was the kind of stuff they used to present to us at the radio station. Did anybody ever call and say, hey, that's a good show, man, I really like it? No. There was that guy who was going to boycott all of our sponsors. I forgot what we said. Did we say something disparaging that he perceived to be disparaging?
He said something honest about DeSantis, and they were mad.
Oh, yeah. What, the guy was a criminal thief? What kind of attaché was exchanged there? What kind of guarantees did he get from the Seminoles to give them the exclusive rights to all in-state gambling? And no one else had anything to say about it, right? Scott Savin was screaming there from the Magic City Casino, "Hey, what about us?" Nothing. The Bernardis, "Hey, what about us?" Nothing. Harris. And there's old Ronnie Boy, middle of the night. Wasn't that great? That meeting took place at like midnight at some deli down the block there on Sterling Road. It was incredible. All right, ready for the championship round? You're going to put Pat in there versus the Chronic. It's a classic matchup here of two titans of the game. You guys both know the rules, and that is that Dave is going to fire off a question, call out your name if you want to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first choice, back and forth until we have a winner for the championship and the Landlubber's gift certificate. This week's edition of the Trivia Challenge here is, and it was great. I mean, this really came off well. Whoever your IT guy there, nice job, man. Is that one of the DeLucas?
Yeah, no. It's a gentleman's been with the hotel a long time. His first name is Furquan, Furquan.
He did a great
job. He's terrific.
Frenchie Furquan. Does he wear the shoes with the goldfish?
No. He's over based in the hotel.
All right, we have the Chronic of Pat. Here's the question. Good luck, John.
All right, guys, let's take you down memory road to Thanksgiving Day football. I believe the year was 1974. Roger Staubach on the field with the Cowboys trailing 16-3 gets injured, and Clint Longley comes off the bench to lead the Cowboys to a 24-23 victory over. Nobody? All right.
There you go.
Was it the Eagles, the Giants, the Redskins, or the 49ers?
Pat was quick. What, Pat?
Wow.
Giants.
Oh, you got
No, was said with certainty, as if he was at the game. Goodbye, Allie.
Lenny, was
Goodbye,
it
Allie.
the Eagles, the Redskins, or the 49ers?
The Redskins. But we'll call them the, what do they call them now? Commodores.
The Commodores.
The
yes.
Redskins is correct.
He's a brilliant.
They're not singing Motown.
Very good. Lenny wins it. And obviously he's making good and wise use of the variety of selections that you have at Landlubbers because he's eating right. And he does. Has he lost 100 pounds, Lubie? You see him.
Lost a lot of weight. He actually is. You know the thing when you change how you eat. I don't know how much exercise he's doing, but he's changed how he eats. So like his face is thinner, his neck,
it's amazing.
His body, his waist is slowly depleting, but he definitely lost. You can tell he's lost a lot of weight. Like,
will you be there tonight, Lubie?
Yeah, we'll be here. I don't know what people are thinking.
We're not on next Thursday, right?
Next week. I mean, it's.
Oh, that's right. No, we're going to take it off.
Next Thursday, Thanksgiving. We're not on.
We're off on everything, I believe, that day. Yes.
Thanksgiving. But we'll be
another day. Just let me know.
All right, very good, Gurggles. Nice job, man. Good to see you. And that worked out well, Lubie. Whatever they did it right.
Yes.
See, when we come to technical repair issues, it only took us 3 weeks to work this one out. A couple of shows. Whereas, and I believe it's going to work. You know what? I'm a big fan. Like I said, I was on with Tony and Robin yesterday, Miss Robin, about 5:30 yesterday, and all of their stuff sounds pretty good. I mean, they've had their share of problems also, even originating out of their
phone, or did you do it on the system?
I was just on the phone, though.
See, I wanted to see if you could go on the system because I'd love to get Tony on with us that way.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, maybe we should give it a shot.
I was wishing they would. That's why they had. I mean, you're obviously good enough to be a guest, but I was hoping they were using you as sort of a test dummy to see.
It was really, kind of a promotion. They were saying, "Hey, since we finally might have figured this out, let's get you on, with Tony and promote the fact that you guys are going to be on from 10 to 12 and be audible, which is a big consideration in the business when you especially don't have video streaming." We have a lot of stuff going on today. We'll see you guys on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. That gets underway at 10 o'clock. We have a little thing on No Filter. You can catch that any time of the day once we get it up there in a few minutes. And that's nofilter.net, Caffeine TV. It's called The Morning Briefing. And then later on today, big festivities, a turkey feast. I'm surprised that there aren't going to be a couple of pilgrims on the dais with us today, as we have the Mike Mayo Lunchbox Show, 1 o'clock today, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. And it is a great place. That's going to be hopping today, don't you think? People are going to be getting in there and
That's my thing. I think it's going to be jammed. Like they always have a nice crowd, but it ebbs and flows. It's before Thanksgiving. Like people been order their stuff 2 weeks in advance. Like I can only imagine that they're gonna have a lot of people. Like that's just my.
Oh, it's always busy in there anyway. I mean, you could go there any day of the week, and they do a great job. It's fantastic. So you wouldn't want to take up the room that they need.
That's my thing.
To operate. I'm with you 1,000% on that. Although it'd be nice to see Jim Sarney and 100 other people.
Invited. You come out. I
invited.
Promise where to seat you. Again, I don't. If you notice, you will. I don't ever sit. I try to rotate the whole time because I don't want to get in anyone's way. Because that's the whole point of the thing is to just be sort of in the background, not like.
And it's nice to be inside there as opposed to that little table we had outside, which it wasn't the most comfortable of setups. Let's say that not terrible, but it wasn't their thing, And it was particularly hot when we started that. But, great place. We'll be out there later on this afternoon. Great place for all of your. I think Mike said that you have till tomorrow to order your fresh turkey that they have.
I wouldn't.
Fresh, this isn't something that was sitting around in a warehouse freezer somewhere for 2 years, and now you're going to defrost the thing on the last minute and hope that it comes out well. This is fresh as a daisy. So very curious to try it. Right after that blood test, I may bring the to-go box into the lab room. And the minute that blood is drawn out of my system there, I'm going to just go ahead and chow down on a turkey sandwich. Should be great. All right, we'll see you later on today. We have a lot to do, and we'll catch you. Please tune in 10 o'clock today. Just download Tony Bruno Sports Network. In fact, if you Google it, it pops right up, and you can just pop it on in your car, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So please join us for that, and eventually we'll start comfortably taking telephone calls on the show, which we may try a little experiment with today. So it's dual participation, two-way dialogue. So it should be a lot of fun. Once we get this thing going, I think it's going to be great. 2024, Lubie, have I been saying this to you for 2 years? 2024 is going to be our year.
Every year's our year. It's fine.
Yes. 2024 is going to be our year. I remember a fighter that I used to cover named Albert Superfly Sandoval. Was also out of Pomona, California, like my good friend Albert Davila, and both were bantamweight contenders at the same time. And I was about to move from California. I was interviewing this guy in 1980. And I remember him saying to me, 1981 is going to be my year.
Nice. There you go.
And I'm thinking, well, I've kind of been saying that every year since then, too. So let's see what happens. I can't believe that 2023 is, closing out here and we're already on the holidays. All right, see you next time as we leave you know that.
The time.
9:04.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to